Hi everybody, it's Dr. Nicole Montero, your favorite psychologist and transformation coach. I want to give you 5 core things that are so important for a healthy relationship. I talk to so many women that are, quote, looking for a man or looking to get into a relationship. And I get it, I understand it. We want to be with someone, we want a companion, we want to share our lives and grow. We want to feel like we're not alone. It's so natural to want to be in a relationship if that's what you choose. But I think what a lot of us neglect is what are the key things, what are the foundations to a healthy relationship. So I'm going to give you 5 things to think about as you navigate this relationship world. Number 1 is you have to understand and work on healing any past trauma that you have. And that goes for about 90% of us. I would really say 100%. I have yet to meet someone who hasn't had something that happened in their life or in their past that wasn't in some way traumatic and didn't affect how they see themselves. And that's the key, right? When you get into a relationship, usually a lot of your trauma will come out because it gets triggered by that other person. And maybe how you feel that they treat you, or it reminds you of some other experience that you had. So you need to think about any past trauma that you've had and how to heal it. And that could be therapy, that could be coaching, that could be self-help, a process of self-help, but it's really important to acknowledge it. Number 2 is even when you're doing that healing work, you might still get triggered in your relationship. Relationships, we always say, it's not just the 2 people, it's you and your parents and their parents and that whole line of whoever influenced you in your life, and the same for your partner. So it's easy to get triggered by something your partner says or doesn't say, something that they do or that they don't do that might bring up feelings of feeling rejected or abandoned or like you're not important. And you have to own those things. Otherwise, you'll end up constantly blaming your partner for something that you feel inside that they, quite frankly, have nothing to do with. So you want to be able to understand what your triggers are. The third thing is you have to constantly work on self-love. That's right, I said it, we hear it. Self-love is so important because if you're constantly looking to get validated for yourself and who you are by your partner, that puts so much pressure on them. You all started off fun and enjoying yourselves, and now all of a sudden you expect them to be the one that is the source of all of how good you feel about yourself. So developing self-love is so important. What do you appreciate about yourself? What do you value about yourself? What are some good qualities about yourself? It's so important to keep those things in mind. And here's a little sub-secret. Self-love and confidence are so attractive. When you're overly needy, at least in a healthy relationship, your partner can feel like it's too much. But the more you learn to validate and love and respect yourself, that draws them to you. You become like a magnet. The 4th thing is healthy boundaries. Surprise, surprise, right? Having a way to communicate what you need and be able to set limits with your partner. Even with people that love each other, they need limits between them so that they maintain the respect from within each other or between each other, and they're not constantly crossing each other's boundaries. So working on healthy boundaries is key to your relationship. And the last thing I'll say is learning healthy communication. I want to paint this on a billboard because it's so important. So many of us get into a pattern of being passive aggressive, not really saying what we feel or what we need, or doing it in the opposite way, being so explosive and blaming our partners for everything. I'll leave you with one key phrase that is so healthy for communication in a relationship, and that is using I statements. When you have an issue or a problem in your relationship, go to your partner and say, I feel like this, or I experience this. Don't come out the gate blaming and yelling and all of that stuff that you see, the drama that you see on the TV, well, let's keep it on TV and out of your household or your relationship. So learning those I statements are really key to healthy communication. Okay, so those 5 things: learning or working on healing your past trauma, knowing your triggers, working on your self-love, having healthy boundaries, and learning how to communicate in your relationship. If you do those 5 things, I guarantee you, you are on your way to a healthy relationship.